What was your last name again?
Vespoli.
I can't get more native New York than that.
No, man, Vespoli. Vespoli and Pappas.
Vespoli, Sergeant Vespoli.
We're gonna open up a Pizza Gyro.
Yeah, right.
place.
With that name, my father's a cop, my uncle's a cop, my dog's a fireman, my grandmother's a fireman. Vespoli.
Thank you so much for doing this, number one.
Yeah, hey, you know.
It's an awesome set.
Yeah, thanks.
Tell us about the show, 2 Point Lead. What's it all about?
Oh man, it's the most fun I've had in a long time, to be completely honest with you. It's sports, it's satire. We take them, we put them together. You guys want to donate a couple dollars so we can buy the Knicks? I know they suck, that's why we're trying to do something about it. We're trying to find the satirical angle and make the jokes that sports fans would make when they're hanging out, enjoying talking about sports or watching sports.
What's your favorite thing that you've done so far, or a person that you spoke to or worked with?
Man, Alonzo Mourning, for me, was my favorite because that's my era. I grew up watching, the battles between the Heat and the Knicks, and he was such a cool, laid-back, humble dude. That was my favorite.
Let's talk about basketball.
Yeah.
You are very good at basketball.
I used to be okay at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was your passion growing up.
That was my passion, man. Yeah. Grew up in Brooklyn, and I played, for St. Saviour's baseball and basketball, and played 1 year against Stephon Marbury. But he was unstoppable, dude. He was unstoppable. He was like a man-child back then. It's like you couldn't do it. He was so much better than everybody else.
So basketball didn't pan out for you, and so you did the next best thing.
Comedy.
You went into comedy.
I'm such a loyal Yankee fan. Derek Jeter could be here right now assaulting my mom. I'd be like, yo, mom, walk it off. We got the Red Sox on Wednesday.
Why not real estate or something like that? Like how did you go from basketball to comedy?
Well, I realized in basketball, I love basketball. Basketball is my favorite sport. I loved it. I love baseball, but comedy was really the only thing that I can do.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm not qualified, nor am I capable of doing anything else.
So you work with this woman named Maurica.
Maurica, that's right. I do know her.
Guaranteed money, cha-ching, #1 draft pick. That mother right there.
I have these questions for her, and I wanted to ask her
Go ahead,
them.
I'll take out for a couple of seconds.
Now that Derek Jeter has retired, who is sports' most eligible bachelor?
JJ Redick from the Clippers. I always like him because he likes Jesus, and that's really why I like too. And he's so cute. He went to Duke. That means he's educated. That's it.
Well, keeping it along that theme, you have one night with Tom Brady. Do you try to sleep with him, or do you kick his ass?
Is that a real question?
That's a real question.
I have the opportunity to sleep with Tom Brady.
Or kick his ass.
Can he wear Uggs while I do it?
You can wear whatever you want.
Then I'm definitely going to take sleeping with Tom Brady.
How do you feel about Bruce Jenner's transition into being a woman? And as a famous trans woman yourself, is he stealing your thunder?
He's not stealing my thunder. He's joining the crew, the brigade. I like what he's doing. I wish he had done it sooner. It's not a big deal.
We're going to switch it up. This is the part of the Bruce Jenner interview when we get up and we look at your dresses in the rest of the house. How has New York shaped your material?
New York's shaped like who I am, You grow up in New York, you've come into contact with every culture, every socioeconomic status, every race by the time you were 4 or 5. And I grew up in an urban environment, so if you look at my comedy, even you look at my characters, they're very New York urban characters. Mr. Panos, he's, owns a diner in Astoria, he's a Greek man. And Maurica's a pre-op transsexual from the Lower East Side who's, Puerto Rican, so, it's very New York. I mean, my comedy is soaked in New York. People say to me, don't you miss the old New York? And I'm like, no, I'll be honest with you, I don't. I don't miss the old New York. Getting hit with a bat and chased by 40 kids? No. I got my Walkman stolen. It was a rough time to grow up.
You've talked very publicly about an incident that happened when you were coming up in the game.
Yeah, I started doing comedy, and I was working in nightclubs. My buddy was a big nightclub promoter, and it was like an attempted robbery on him. He used to carry around a lot of money, and I ended up getting shot. Who hasn't, right?
Yeah, it's New York. How number one, how do you bounce back from something like that, especially when you're a comedian? And number two, how does that shape your outlook on life, on the city?
It did change. I mean, not to sound cliche, it does change things. It forces you to grow up, quick. And the biggest adjustment was psychologically, I was lucky I didn't hit any main arteries, I was out of the hospital the next day, but just sort of dealing with the PTSD of that, just always being worried that it can happen again. And then, yeah, it just, for a while, it kind of shook me up. You know, when you have that moment when you think you're about to die, which I had, like it's like a dream. It lasts, it happens in like a second in reality, but the perception of it for some reason is longer. You know, you have a last moment where you think about shit, and you want that moment to be good. It's supposed to be funny, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I hope I'm delivering.
This is great.